I think we've just had the Pierce Brosnan and Cheryl Cole of this cosmetics ad that we're going through this afternoon. I'm not going to say who, but I'm the middle-aged geek that comes on and shows you how science works. So I'm John Helstrip, and I've held, as Simon said, a couple of marketing positions in the past. So I looked after the development of new media at GCAP, what it was called GWR at the time. I was a launch director at 118 and launched the new media channel, 118.com. And most recently, I was in the Trade W Group. I was product strategy director there for technology, and so I looked after the launch of that technology. Is that Anne just there? Wow, and they're on. Hello. I work with this lady here to launch technology globally, and it was searchware, search management, private virtual network, and display advertising. And so I met with Simon about 6 months ago, and he said to me, "John, this is what we've been doing at TVG in terms of response from display advertising." I said, "It's crazy, you can't be doing that. Show me how." And he did. And what he showed me was clients that are getting incredible returns from a type of media that you wouldn't normally expect to get those sorts of returns from. And what he showed me, though, was how it's so difficult to scale. And so currently there's a missing ingredient from the display world that this type of technology can fill. How's that? Is that okay? Okay. So here it is. Let me explain what that gap is. So at the moment we have on the right hand side search. Users are looking for something. They're in that mode where they're trying to choose what they're going to buy because they already have an intent or an interest to buy something. And search, as already been said, is remarkably easy to manage because you've got 92% of search queries in the UK going through one player, and across Europe, the vast majority of searches go through. It's only when you get to the States where it's more evenly balanced, or in Japan where you have Yahoo that takes the lead. And so it's very easy to manage, and there are technologies that cover all of those different APIs, all those different engines. But on the left-hand side there, you've got display. And display is not so easy to manage, partly because you've got media owners. They're incredibly difficult to deal with. You know, you'll give them a call and you'll say, "What rate is it for this?" And they'll say, "Well, I'll go and talk with my pricing team and I'll come back and tell you." And then I'll say, "Can you fax your inquiry through?" And then I'll come back a couple of days later. There's no media owners in here, apart from Facebook, obviously. And so it makes it very difficult to manage. And of course, check the bill. What do you think? And also, you've got all of these different media, all of these, it's a very fragmented marketplace. You've got all of these different partners, all these different players to deal with. So it makes it incredibly difficult to manage. And so that's what the One Media Manager helps us deal with. It helps us make interaction with each one of them much simpler, enables to pull together that vast amount of data that happens across all those different display parties. Makes it much easier to manage and mine and deal with and therefore optimize. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. The brief was to come up with an incredibly sexy interface. Sadly, we couldn't do that, so we came up with a very easy one. So it's easy, not sexy, almost exactly like me. So this is the interface, and you can see here at the top left-hand side of the screen, this is how you see the different views on the data. So you have details, and you can see the details listed here. There's a title, the name of the ad. You can see whether it's live or paused, whether there is an ad schedule operating on there or not. I'll talk a bit about ad schedules later. You can see here that you can set strategies. So you can follow the min suggested bid or the max suggested bid, or you can target the CPA and follow a CPA. You've also got here, on the right-hand side, you've got global functions. That's the ad gallery. I love the ad gallery. I'm going to show you the ad gallery a little bit more later. And then you've got filters, and you've got an actions menu, which allows you to apply global rules to the ads that you've got in there. So you can select a bunch of ads and pause them, or select a bunch of ads and start them. which, as you may know, can be can have workflow problems at the moment, fairly tricky to do at the moment. All of those ads at the moment are grouped in with headers, but you can actually choose how you group fields. So you could group all male together, all female together, and then apply global actions to them. So this is tapping into, as Blake was describing earlier, the different targeting functions that you have within Facebook. They're just coming through here and able to manipulate them in an incredibly flexible way. This is also how we think about our business, strangely enough. What we've got here is the demand funnel as described by Blake, or the advertising funnel as defined by Blake. So you can see here at the top, imagine that you have got one ad, and it's one colour of ad, and so it's one type of ad, and that's being distributed to many different people. And all those different people, they've got different demographic profiling, different interests. Maybe they're looking at the site at different times. So it's going to have a different appeal to those different people. Maybe it's got the same image, and those different people have a preference for different types of image. So one example is a 4 times increase in the conversion rate for a particular ad by changing the colour from blue to orange. So there we go. So that ad goes all the way down to fulfillment, and you've made a sale. But imagine actually that you can generate many different types of ads. Let's say 30,000 or 23,000 ads for all these different people, and you could do that immediately and instantly. And then you could target all of these different people. You could optimize against them at different times of day. You can pick different demographic profiles. You can identify different interests and reflect that in the title or the body copy. And you can do that very quickly. Now then, I know that TVG with one client actually moved from one ad to 23,000 ads, and multiplied the response they had from that by 10 times. And so, but of course, there's an enormous amount of work, as Simon was saying earlier, there's an enormous amount of work that goes into generating that number of ads and then managing them on an ongoing basis. So, let me show you what we call the campaign builder. Can anyone work out why this is called the campaign builder?